I want to make fun of Dave Rubin some more because, dear God, why would you go on Jubilee and make such a damn fool of yourself? Oh, right, because he's losing relevance every minute. So, of course, he's going to be on Jubilee trying to get anything he possibly can to work in his favor. That's exactly what's going to happen. Anywho, before we do that, I need to go ahead and show you Anubian why. So this is from Anubian. They said it's Susus lemonade. It's lemonade that is from one of the versions of me y'all have made. That's yeah, that's certainly a thing. Anyways, if you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. If you want your fan art to be used for the contest, where the winner is going to have their fan art turned into a model of mine, then drop it into the respective area into the Discord. That said, thank you very much for your fan art submission. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, you know what to do. We're going to go make fun of Dave Rubin now. That's the plan. Anyway, that's the plan.
If you would like to debate this claim, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
That's our president.
No, hold on. No. We are gonna lower that playback speed back to here. Okay.
Not to fight because he doesn't like
Bora, and you think his birth.
You think like the. Okay, got you.
My next surrounded claim is if you still vote for Democrats in 2026, you're voting for broken cities, broken schools, and broken borders.
If you would like to debate this claim, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, how are you, Santana?
So, can you explain a little bit about what you mean, broken cities?
Oh, thank God, somebody who came in and instead of immediately arguing their point, forces him to clarify. That's good. That's really good right now.
Broken schools, broken borders.
Sure. Well, broken cities, you can boil it down to crime and drug use. And I can tell.
The broken cities, you can boil it down to crime and drug use. All right, let's talk about why that's really fucking stupid. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk real quick. I have a question. If we happened to have an average amount of crime that happens per 100,000 citizens and an average amount of drugs that are consumed per 100,000 citizens, would that number not skyrocket in a city? Let me explain. A city is a place in the world, on planet Earth, where we do not build out in order to accommodate more people, we build up. This causes something called population density. And when you have a high amount of population density, even in the world where all numbers for all manner of horrific things are exactly how they would be expected in the fucking suburbs, you inadvertently have more of it because you have a denser population where more of it's going to happen. Holy fucking shit every time. Okay, now let's go ahead and go over the other problem with this. Drugs and crime. Where are you going to see more people doing drugs? Well, you're going to see more people doing drugs when they do not feel like they have many other options for themselves. When are you going to see more people doing crime? When the economic disparity for those people is very, very high and they need to rely on crime in order to sustain themselves. Turns out most crime happens to be violence because somebody is unable to get a thing that they want or need, or theft. Unless we're talking about corporate crime, which doesn't really exist because, of course, we live in America, and we give those people bailouts unless they're Spirit Airlines. So whether it's the fact that the population is naturally going to be more dense, or the fact that with more people in a higher cost of living area, you are naturally going to have people who are going to have to rely on more unscrupulous means in order to get by, cities are going to have more crime, quite literally, no matter what you do. There is no way around cities feeling like they have more crime than areas like the suburbs. Because in the suburbs, you get to spread people out far enough that even if it's happening, like I said, at the exact same rate per 100,000, in a suburb, you don't have 100,000 people in a subdivision, but in a city, you might have 100,000 people on a handful of fucking city blocks. So, yeah, defeated by per capita again. Anyway, let's continue.
Tell you, having been in here in Los Angeles for the last 36 hours, I have seen more homeless people, more drug use.
So, More homeless people and more drug use. First of all, drug use is not a moral failing. Drug use is an addiction problem. It is closer to a disease that needs to be handled like a disease. We do not need to be shaming people for drug use. We need to be trying to help them. First of all, you fucking moron. Secondly, so I've been to New York, Chattanooga, Atlanta, Portland, Tampa, and quite a few cities across the country now, actually, in a lot of different states, like way more than I thought I would have years ago. But thankfully, YouTube is a weird job that sends me in a bunch of weird places. Like I said, if you have a city with a high population density, you are going to naturally see more of that stuff. You're going to see more of it in New York and Portland than in many other places due to the population density and the economic disparities that people are dealing with there. Like, I'm so sorry that you are in LA and you had to watch human beings out there existing in a way you don't agree with, but, like, you're gay. You're living the life of every Republican when they sit in a room with you, idiot. So I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, when you see those problems, a Republican solution to those problems is usually to introduce more hostile architecture. A Republican solution to those problems is to try to push those people out of the city so that they cannot be seen by the populace. A Democratic solution to that is usually going to be something a little closer to getting them housing, getting them aid. Both solutions will get people off the streets, but one of them just scoots them to make them somebody else's problem or lets them die in the woods, and the other one actively tries to reintegrate them into society proper.
More urban decay than I've seen in the last 5 years combined. Living.
I've seen more urban decay than I've seen the last 5 years combined. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say right now, thank you for your anecdote. Anecdote isn't data. It doesn't mean anything. When you say the words urban decay, not only do they not mean anything, even though I'm guessing you're meaning drug use and crime. So, damn, that's a lot of makeup. So you can't have urban decay where there is no urban? I miss when I had a girlfriend who wore urban decay. So, let me see here. Los Angeles crime rate by year. I'm just curious. Just curious here. What is the crime rate in LA? Well, that is urban decay, where he's using crime as one of his signifiers for that, real quick. So can we appreciate the fact that property crime and violent crime in Los Angeles are actively in the throes of decreasing and have been decreasing every single year for the past 40 fucking years? Can we appreciate that for a minute? When Dave Rubin tries to sit there and tell you, man, the urban decay is so bad, I haven't seen it be this bad in the last 5 years combined. Okay, well, the minute we actually take just a nanosecond to look at what the data suggests, it suggests Dave Rubin is lying. And we know he's lying because he gets paid a lot of money to lie, and he gets paid a lot of money to lie while wearing the mask of a disenfranchised liberal, because Dennis Prager has specifically told him that he is most useful that way. None of this is hidden information. This is just how the world is. Let me see here. Robbie says, you know what also happened 40 years ago? California banned leaded gas. Progress says Detroit today is like a daisy walk compared to Detroit in the 80s. Hell, RoboCop used Detroit because it was so damn believable. Nene says, wasn't Rubin the idiot who took money from Russia at Telegram? No, that was Tim Pool. That was Tim Pool and Lauren Chen. And more people besides that, but no, he takes Daily Wire money. Anywho.
In Florida.
Florida?
Yeah. In terms of schools, it's basically brainwashing kids and teaching them what to think instead of teaching them how to think.
Right. So, your culprit there is capitalism. And I'm not saying that so I can be the dumb fucking leftist on the internet that yells at capitalism every single time like an old man yelling at cloud. I am that guy. But no, I want to explain to you real quick the reason why our education system operates that way. Our education system is built not to teach you how to think, but to teach you what to think, because our education system hasn't seen significant reform since the industrial age. And what were we trying to produce during the industrial age in terms of our children? We were trying to produce factory workers. By making more people more adept at being fucking factory workers, we were able to get more people who were able to increase the productivity of America as a whole. So, because we have an education system that's meant to do that, that's a problem everywhere. That has nothing to do with cities. That has everything to do with the failures of the United States education system damn near on the federal level. But Dave Rubin thinks those Democrat cities is the problem, actually. I have an old friend, not a friend anymore, actually, who lived in New York City and actively thought exactly like Dave Rubin did. We got in a lot of fucking fights. Anyway.
And then what was the third one in terms of, borders is the easiest one. I mean, under the Biden administration, we let in somewhere, we don't even know what the actual number is, but...
Oh, we don't know what the number is, so you don't know if you should care. Wild. Cinderone, thank you for resubscribing. Yeah, that's a really, really cool statement there, Dave. We don't even know how many there are. Oh, so you don't know? So you're freaking out about an unknown variable? That's so cool. Shut the fuck up then. Like, if you don't know what the number is, then you don't know if you even should give a shit.
Somewhere between 16 to 20 million illegals. If Donald Trump did quite literally nothing else in his presidency, just getting control of the border, I would say would be good enough, because you don't have a country if you don't know.
Fact check, during Biden's presidency, Border Patrol logged 7 to 8 million encounters at the southern border with an estimated 1.5 million getaways. Pew's 2021 to 24 estimate showed that the total undocumented population rising from about 10.5 million to around 14 million, an increase of only a few million, far below claims of 16 to 20 million new undocumented immigrants. Dave Rubin has to get fact-checked because he lies again. That's so cool. Man, I love Dave Rubin. He's my favorite.
Who is in it?
Okay, all three of your claims are wrong. Pick which one you want to be proved wrong on.
Oh my fucking god! The balls! The balls! Oh, that's... Okay. No, I'm locked in. I need to know.
Let's do borders.
Perfect.
Okay.
Donald Trump is absolutely the worst president on the border. First and foremost, you can talk about the Langford bill, which was a piece of legislation which would have strengthened our borders, but Donald Trump had that legislation shot down. He
wait. So
wait. No. Don't bring facts into this. No. It's about feelings. I gotta do feelings. No. This is all about vibes, my guy. Please don't bring facts into this. Don't bring data. Don't bring bills. Don't bring things that have actually happened. No, please. It'll ruin my whole vibe.
Were the borders open under Obama?
No.
Or under Biden? Let's try.
Were the borders open under Biden? No. The reason that we have numbers on how many immigrants came into the United States is because they weren't fucking open. We don't have open borders. We haven't had open borders in, dear God, I can't think of many times after we've actually done the fucking Louisiana Purchase where we've had something that I would consider an open border policy as the United States. I feel like we started locking shit down pretty early on. Like, actually, you know what? Let me Google this. When was the last time the U.S. had truly open borders? Let's see here. 1924. The last time the United States had open borders was 1924. Oh my god. Wait, hold on, guys. The primary justification for early immigration laws were xenophobia, eugenics, and overt racism. Wait, the fact that okay, so those who don't know, the actual building blocks for the Nazi movement don't have their origins in Germany. They have their origins here. They took the way that we stripped civil rights away from people and the way that we had actively been promoting our own eugenics movement. That is the exact set of mechanics that were used as the foundational principle for what we understand now as the Nazi Party's eugenics program. They copied us. And the fact that we started locking down our borders about 10-ish years before we started seeing a whole lot of that shit starting in Germany? Oh, that's cool. Oh, man. I wasn't really expecting the closed borders to actually have a direct link to Nazism. I didn't realize that was going to be a thing that came up today, but it is. Justice says Hitler literally took the Denver redlining maps to make the ghettos. Yep. So, just so nobody gets my words twisted, let me go ahead and give my point in as abundantly clear a method as I possibly can. The United States eugenics programs and movement are the things that actively led to the Nazis doing their thing. The United States eugenics program and movement directly led to the closed border policy that we now enjoy today. Do you see the problem here? Do you see the connection? Do you see an issue possibly with some of the history of what has happened here? Because I see a few fucking problems. Sean says, note, I can't accentuate the fact that I was being sarcastically toned to that voice. Said, racist or liars, what a shocker. The U.S. immigration system is a scam that dehumanizes people for profit. Communities across the country have had enough. The protests in L.A. have invited a long overdue conversation about the true nature of the U.S. immigration system. While the immediate catalyst for the protests were ramped up ICE raids attempting to meet Donald Trump's arbitrary deportation quotas, the protests spring from a deeper history. In reality, the protests reflect decades-long frustrations with an abusive immigration system designed to dehumanize immigrants, weaken workers, and keep wealth flowing upward. ICE's recent tactics were only the last straw. So there's a whole article here. I'm going to go ahead and drop it here in the chat for y'all if you want it. If K-Fox is able to grab this link from The Guardian and drop it into the description so you can read further, then that would be really, really cool. I just think it's so interesting, really interesting, that that's where we go. That's where that went. I did not know that's what was going to happen. I honestly thought that we had closed borders earlier than that. Again, like Louisiana Purchase territory is what I was thinking. But obviously I am wrong, and this is evidence that I was wrong. I just wasn't aware that I was going to find origins of the Nazis and origins of our closed border policies coming from the same fucking place. Weird.
Let's try that. The borders were not open.
What piece of legislation
we did not,
did he pass to open the borders?
No, it's not about a piece of legislation. It's a...
What? So you're saying it's vibes? Is it vibes, Dave Rubin?
About quite
So
literally,
how do you open the borders without legislation?
You just let people through, which is exactly
right. But how do you let people through without legislation that allows that? You have to have the orders coming from somewhere, you idiot.
exactly what
there
we're
was
doing.
no one standing at the borders. Everybody just come right in.
In many cases, yes, actually.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take a minute to reflect on what was just said. If you might not know, we'll play it one more time. Let me know in the comment section after you subscribed if you can catch the slippery word.
Is exactly what we're doing.
There was no one standing at the borders. Everybody just come right in.
In many cases, yes, actually.
Did you catch it? Let me know in chat. Let me know in the comment section. What was the slippery word he used? And now that you're done typing it, many. There you go. You all got it. You all got it. The slippery term is in many cases. Many, huh? Well, since many is an unquantifiable word, it can mean 5, it can mean 50, it can mean 5 million, as there is nothing solid to grasp on where that word is concerned. Let's go ahead and talk about a hypothetical scenario. Here's the scenario. 95% of people who attempt to cross the border get thrown out. 5% of people are able to get in because they manage to find a way to slip past the guards, or they find some type of hole in our wall that we don't have, by the way, because Trump never fucking built the damn thing. There's a bunch of ways that you can cross into the border, and a bunch of areas where there aren't going to be any guards who are actively watching for border crossing. If a non-zero amount of people make it through those areas, despite the overwhelming majority of them being checked by customs as they should, Dave Rubin gets to have his little itty-bitty baby claim of many people and not technically be lying, but the word means nothing. Many is a slippery word that people who want to convince you of shit will use in order to increase the validity or increase the breadth of a claim without actually adding any real substantial weight to it. So Becky says, God, politicians are slimy as fuck people. He's not a politician. He's a pundit. Axo says, I've had many sex with your mother. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Nettie says, cites 0 cases. Yep. Yep. Many means nothing. Anytime anyone uses many, you should be immediately suspicious of what they are trying to sell you.
In many cases, they were quite literally moving barbed wire fence.
Where did you get this information?
There are videos of it. Have you ever seen the video of Bobby?
Did you fact check the videos?
Have you ever seen the video of Bobby Kennedy when he was running as a Democrat, standing at the border? He was still a Democrat.
Wait, you're talking about the same one that sniffed coke off a toilet seat and admitted it recently?
Wait, no.
The same one that actually took a dead bear and dropped it in Central Park. The same one that actually chopped the head off a whale. You're citing RFK Jr.?
Yes, I am citing RFK Jr.
Let me get this straight. The dude who's a liar who lies, the fucking liar who lies all the time in a world with AI-generated video, is telling you that, oh, by the way, the border was open at this one point, and Dave Rubin has to use the whole, he was running as a Democrat at the time. Dude, it doesn't matter that he was running as a Democrat at the time. He was a fucking idiot as a Democrat, and he's a fucking idiot as a Republican. Jesus Christ, what a moron.
No, I don't hear that.
Who's running HHS right now?
Which he shouldn't be, but that's fine. Yeah. Listen, when you talk about...
how many people do you think came in under Biden? Let's see if we're even operating on the same plane.
The acceptable number is about 10 million.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So I'll grant you that. They say it could be anywhere, I've heard 16 to 20 million, but let's say it's 10. Do you think that's good or fair?
Fucking not so erudite sitting there like, let me at him.
Or just, or how a country can operate?
I think that when you create instability throughout the world, and then you also tell people that your country's open, then you create an actual quote-unquote border crisis. Think about this really quick.
What instability was Joe Biden causing?
What was Barack Obama's nickname?
Barry?
Deporter-in-chief. Barack Obama had a negative immigration rate. That means that he deported more people than he let into the country. So you're
for deportation.
So we can say that...
That's not what he said. No, he's not saying, oh, I'm for deportation. He's saying that when you make the claim that under Democrats this is all worse, the counterclaim is pointing out that under Democrats you got what you wanted anyway. You fucking moron!
There wasn't a border crisis under Obama, right?
The border crisis was significantly worse under Biden.
But under Obama, was there a crisis?
Now, let's ignore the fact that Dave Rubin has claimed that Obama has been a perpetrator of a border crisis. Let's ignore that for a minute.
Barack Obama did.
Yes or no?
Barack Obama.
Yes or no?
Barack Obama did.
He won't answer you yes or no. He's too. Look, okay. God, this is going to sound like a disgusting joke, but I promise you, I think it's funny, and that's why I'm going to say it. You are now finding out everything that Dave Rubin's husband has found out about just how fucking slippery he is.
Or I think more people than Donald Trump.
So,
yeah.
but then
I wish
you're saying,
Donald Trump was deporting more people.
Sure,
yeah.
I agree. So you're saying there was a crisis under Biden?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
But no crisis under Obama?
No, I didn't say that. He was deporting.
I mean, yes or no? Yes or no?
Wait, hold on. Let's do Biden.
He had a negative deportation rate.
Let's do Biden and Trump.
No,
Biden and Trump. Let's do the last two administrations.
Just answer the question, yes or no?
I am for anyone that will.
So the claim is if you vote for Democrats plural, but he's got to move the goalpost from Democrats plural to specifically Joe Biden. The claim is all Democrats. You can't have the claim of all Democrats and then pick and choose as hard as you fucking are. That's not how this works, Dave. That is not how this works.
Close borders and deport
I'll say
people.
no. I'll say no. That's
okay.
fine.
Okay.
So if there wasn't a crisis under Obama and there was a crisis under Biden, what happened in between those two administrations? Was there something that happened?
Wait, are you blaming Donald Trump for Joe Biden's border?
No, what I'm blaming Donald Trump for is when he's actually campaigning for president and he's going around and to any news organization.
Do you remember that one of the things Donald Trump specifically campaigned on in 2016 was locking down the border, building the wall because of Obama having a border crisis? He wanted to get rid of all the Muslims. He wanted to get rid of all the Mexican people. Do you remember that? I remember that. I remember that one Latina woman being brought on stage and going, "I love Mr. Trump." I remember that. And I remember that being done specifically so that he could pretend that he wasn't a fucking racist. I remember that wholeheartedly. Did you forget that, Dave? Your claim was all Democrats. So we're talking about all Democrats. And the Obama administration into the Trump administration is 100% one of the moments in time we got to talk about if we're going to have this claim of all Democrats have any weight whatsoever.
Organization that would let him speak and tell everyone that the border's open. They're wide open. Come on in, come on in. And he actually created something that wasn't there. So wait, you're blaming people coming to this country illegally. You're blaming Donald Trump. Donald Trump, who really only appeared because of borders, right? Build a wall. There wasn't a border issue. That's what he appeared. There wasn't a border issue when he said that, right? But then when there was instability, we've always had a completely porous border. We had a negative deportation rate under Obama. He created the actual.
We've had a completely porous border. Meanwhile, negative deportation rate. Jesus fucking Christ.
Desire for people to come here because he told the lie that the borders was open.
Wait a minute, but why? So but if America's a racist, evil, capitalist country, why would these people want to come here?
You realize also, Hannah, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? Hopefully you were doing well. I get to be here for all of 10 more minutes because Vice Rhino's been banned from Twitch and I need to do my show with him in a minute and I don't want to be banned from Twitch myself. He should be back in like a week or two, I think, probably. But yeah, you get to be here for a few minutes with me. Yay! We're watching Dave Rubin make a fool of himself. Also, when you say, oh, well, if America's such an evil, capitalist, blah, blah, blah nation, you are aware that these things are built in degrees, right? You are aware that there is a degree to which a country can be one thing or another. So if we can agree that America is a capitalist nation that actively fucks over its citizenry, but we can agree that Mexico does similar things to its people and might be worse to its people than America is to its people, then surely you can see why somebody from Mexico would want to come here. Now, I'm pulling both of those examples out of my ass. I don't actually know what the differences are between how the Mexican government treats its people versus how the American government treats its people. I don't know. I'm just saying I can conceive of a way for this to work perfectly fine and undermine Dave Rubin completely.
Because it's still better than the country that they're in. Because the United States of America
is pretty good.
Destabilizing other countries. Our CIA keeps destabilizing other countries and overthrowing other countries. We're doing that right now.
So who did Barack Obama destabilize that then Donald Trump allowed into the country?
The point being is our country has a history of destabilization. That doesn't matter if it's left or right.
So who did Barack? Well, I'm just playing your game here. I'm just playing your game, man.
If Donald Trump created the need for people to come here, and there was no crisis, then Donald Trump not only created it, but he didn't handle it.
I'm sorry, man. Nothing you're saying is making sense here.
It's not making sense because if you were to actually address the claims that he is saying, you would flounder the way you have this entire time. You have to say that nothing you're saying is making sense so that you can stop thinking about the claims at all. That's what you're doing. That's how you have to handle that.
Okay, we got pause there. You've been voted out.
What country did Barack Obama destabilize that caused people to come here under Donald Trump?
I guess you'll never know.
Okay, you've been voted out.
Oh my God. Okay, we're not going to cover any more of this today. I may cover more of it tomorrow because this is a gold mine. This is an absolute gold mine. So like, here's the thing. Dave Rubin is not good at what he does. He's got a lot of money behind him, and he has a smile that can invite, I don't know, like 3 predators. So he's good at having a voice and being able to take a bunch of shit on the chin while he is, God damn it, I'm not trying to make gay jokes. They're just coming out of me. Fuck. He's really good at taking it. Jesus Christ, this is not easy. This is not easy. The point I'm trying to make is Dave Rubin is not good as an interviewer. He is not good as a pundit. He is not good at anything. But he is able to take a whole lot of shit when people are making fun of him. And that is the reason he is able to have an even somewhat stable career. It's in the Lord that let there become. Fucking hell. You sound... And the Lord said, let there become. You sound like Cassafel. Chin, face, neck. Like, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with Dave Rubin being gay. I don't want any of the jokes that I make to be emblematic of me actually trying to make that point. But the people he works for thinks there's something wrong with him being gay. So I think it's open season. Or, in this case, I guess, open borders? If that makes sense in this particular context. Anyway, Jesus, this was embarrassing. Dave Rubin actively showing over and over and over that he is not equipped to have these conversations. Now, there's nothing wrong with having opinions about things that you're not equipped to have conversations about. I am not equipped to have most political conversations. I would do incredibly bad on Jubilee because I have a shit memory and I am not the most educated guy on the planet. But Dave Rubin pretends that he is good at all the things he does. He can just smile and nod and laugh as he's doing all the dumb things that cause people's human rights to be taken away. The rights of trans people, the rights of, in this case, people who are being deported out of the United States. Oh, and eventually the rights of gay people. Speaking of which, before we end stream, I need to show you guys something really funny. Really funny. So do you remember how the other day Representative Andy Ogles made a post about how homosexuality had no place in the United States? Wouldn't you believe it? It wasn't Representative Andy Ogles who said that thing that disenfranchised all the log cabin Republicans. No, it was some unnamed intern. It's always some fucking unnamed intern. Every time. They want you to believe every time they say something fucking stupid, it's some unnamed intern. Earlier today, while working on the farm, my phone began going crazy because of a post made by a member of my comms team. The post was stupid, hurtful, and a complete distraction from my America First focus. The employee has been reprimanded. Well, first of all, they shouldn't be reprimanded. They should be put on blast. That is a person whose name should be known to all of us. But, you seem to be protecting them, so I'm just going to go ahead and assume that it was you who said it. Like, I'm sorry, but you are ultimately responsible for the things that get put out on your platform. Take responsibility for it yourself. There is a reason that your unpaid intern piece of shit thought that that was something that was appropriate for your audience. You're just not willing to admit why that is. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagittarius, you know I'm not saying that last part, Sylvie Snow, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.